After being pecked by a radioactive bird, a somewhat mannered T.Tuthill was compelled to become Kinneas, the Skydude. Hello, all my flight simulator friends. It wouldn't be a Monday unless something went wrong, and I'm glad it happened right at the start. Hopefully that's just it. That's all the problems that we have. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I guess, oh, I know what happened. Last week, I was having some streaming problems, and I changed my ingest server. You do encoding. It's basically the server that I connect to on YouTube. I had changed that while doing some testing, and I didn't change it back. And so it said, hey, you're still using that other server. You shouldn't be using that one. That's just for backup and testing, blah, blah, blah. Either way, I think we're good to go. Everything looks fine on YouTube now. Hey, hope you had a great weekend. Thank you, Farmer, for stopping in on the last one and saying hello. I'm going to have to go over there quickly. Let me just go delete that right away. Dun, dun, dun. And then we'll get going. We're still in South Korea. And I'm trying to find any jobs that will take us south. But I'm in the YouTube studio at the moment, and I'm looking for that last one that I just did. 1 minute and 36-second live stream. And let me delete this. I don't want there to be any confusion. Okay. And we should be good. I just need to get the random failures going on now. All right, you should be seeing that right about now. Okay, so before we get going, we need to determine if the bad guy or bad guys, it doesn't really matter, just role play it, right? So to practice random failures and things going wrong for the role-playing purposes of the live stream, the Skydude live stream, gotta imagine that there's bad guys out there. It's always a better story if you've got your nemesis, right? Nemesi. Either way, people that are out there that aren't wishing you well, okay? And they have an opportunity to tamper with whatever plane I'm going to use today to start out, and they can disrupt any number of systems. And it goes a little something like this, okay? So in the random failures, stop this. These are the things that the bad guys can mess with. The flight controls, the gear, the fuel, the panel, the engine, the brake, or the other. Okay? So 7 categories. We'll get our trusty D&D dice here. Thank you to the dnddiceroller.com. And I'll grab a D8. And on a roll of 8, the bad guys are completely unsuccessful at tampering or trying to tamper with any system. So here we go. Roll it. We got a 1. So looking at our random failures, it's something to do with our flight controls. This could bring the whole live stream to a close. Rather abruptly. Okay. All right, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 areas that the bad guys can go mess with. The ailerons will stick. The trim will stick. Elevator will stick. Elevator trim will stick. Left flap can stick. Right flap can stick. Rudder can stick. Rudder trimmer can stick. Okay. So let me get a D10. On a 9 or a 10, the bad guys fail to do whatever they want to do. Somebody walks in on them. I walk in. The maid walks in. Who knows? Cookie walks in. A 10. They failed again. They've been unsuccessful for the last 2 attempts to mess with the plane, and I can't say I'm sad about that. All right, so let's move on. We gave the bad guys a chance. Bush Talk Radio is up and running. So if we pass over any cool points of interest, we'll get an audio tour. I'll make sure that's working once we get in. Can't activate it once until we're in there. We open up something. We are a long way from Colorado, my friends. There's Farmer. Yeah. And Bruno. Hello, gents. Lucky the Bad. I should have given myself, I should have waited a minute. Normally, you know, people aren't really watching. And so normally, if somebody is watching and I go to roll the bad guys, I can give myself pluses for you being here. So, yeah. Next time I'll be sure to delay it a little bit. Make sure you guys are in the room and then, or hanging out in the hangar, you know what I mean? We're all sitting around doing something and, you know, people are running through and maybe, you know, having you guys around like, hey, there's a bad guy over there. Stop that bad guy. Get out of here. Okay. So we are here in South Korea and I was hoping to find anything that might take us south. That'll take us south. But how far? Ooh. Oh, is that going to JEJU? That's exactly where I want to go. That's so perfect. Couldn't be more perfect. That's exactly where I wanted to go. It is a resort island. And, I don't know, a couple of years ago, Christine is really into watching Korean programming. And she got me watching this one reality show that took place on that island. I guess one of the K-pop stars, this lady who was a singer, and her husband who was a music maker. They ran a B&B on JEJU, and that was what the whole reality show was about. People getting picked to go hang out with this celebrity husband and wife at their B&B, and pretty cool. Anyway, that is the reason why I want to head down to JEJU Island. Okay, so how long? This is going to be 45 minutes in a Boeing 737 MAX. Okay, great. Well, we get to test, continue learning how to fly this thing and try to do an ILS landing in these things. Haven't been entirely successful, but getting there. That is headquarters calling in. Hold on. Hello, headquarters. Skydude here.
I'm just now at lunch.
Okay, headquarters.
All right, we will contact you later.
All right, goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's who likes the Korean programming. She's got me watching another one right now called The Chef in My Fridge, or Chefs in My Fridge, or Chefs and My Fridge, something like that. They have all these celebrity chefs in a panel. And then they invite guests on. And the crew goes to their house and takes their refrigerator and brings it to the studio. And then the hosts open up the refrigerator and show what the guests have in the refrigerator. And then the celebrities kind of like challenge each other to cook their guest the better meal in 15 minutes. But it's also it's also based on what the guest wants. So they had this MMA fighter on in the last episode, and he's like, for the first challenge, I want it to be a carbohydrate challenge, something heavy. I can eat carbs this week, so make me something tasty. And then the second round of battle will be, I need a heavy protein meal, you know, still in training kind of thing. Anyway, it may not sound that exciting, but the South Koreans are really good at making television, and you get addicted really quick. So after a couple episodes, I'm like, oh, he's using the balsamic. Oh, he's going for the vinaigrette, or or whatever. It's funny how I can get into these shows that she watches. Well, I've never seen anybody make potatoes quite that way before. It's fantastic. Like Iron Chef Light, but with guests. Oh, hey, already start the day out beeping on me.
Let's make this flight to JEJU a great experience.
I'm going to turn that up so you can hear them a little bit more. Sure, I had it down for Friday for the Microsoft Flight Sim community fly-in. Yes, I did. Okay. All right. Let's open up our mission. They're not even telling us to do anything, just...
Suhayan from your flight staff.
Okay.
We're ready to begin boarding. Waiting for your signal.
Okay, there it goes. Press R to request passenger boarding.
Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9814. Could you please get the passengers on board? Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9814. A ramp is on its way.
Hey, multiplayer live streaming. Sometimes it doesn't really seem to work when I'm in a career mode. And so what I would like to do is after the live stream, I'll do a couple hours of just open time and free flight. And that way I can connect with anybody who wants to do any flying together. I want to get a little hangar time in, a little free flight time in, and make myself available at other times. Does that make sense?
Guns in ground. Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9814. Could you please send the baggage? Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9814. Baggage is on the way.
But I definitely want to start trying to do more multiplayer flying with you.
Guns in ground. Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9814. Could you please send a catering truck? Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9814. The catering truck is on the road.
I wonder if there's any audience for people that want to like rent a virtual pilot.
Guns in ground. Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9814 ready to copy IFR clearance to JEJU.
That'd be an interesting live stream to do.
Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9814 is cleared to JEJU Airport by the Porix 2 departure. Meiji transition. Expect runway 18. Maintain 14,000 feet. Departure frequency is 125.45. Squawk 4127.
14,000 feet. All right. Yeah, after this live stream, I'll be doing some multiplayer flying again, and we can try to connect again. But let me do this flight, and then I am available. Okay, so...
Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9814. Acknowledge last transmission.
I'll acknowledge, but what was the squawk code? 4127.
Cleared to JEJU by the Porix 2 departure. Meiji transition. Runway 18. Maintain 14,000 feet. Departure frequency is 125.45. Squawk 4127.
It's not even on yet.
9814.
Not even started up yet.
Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9814. Read back correct. Contact ground on 123.5. Good day.
All luggage on board, Captain.
It's already set to 123.5.
Guns and ground, Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814 with Foxtrot. Ready to taxi, IFR. Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814. Taxi 2 and hold short of runway 18 via taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 126.5.
We've completed boarding, Captain.
Currently at 50% fuel capacity, Captain.
I hope you don't get upset if anybody calls you Sarge or Doc. Good afternoon, Sarge Doc. I'm trying to request a pushback. Oh, don't be bugged.
Guns and ground, Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814. I am done with the boarding.
See at the top here, press R to request pushback and wait for ignition clearance. Okay, maybe we just had to wait for the catering truck to get out of the way. Maybe.
Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814. Did you copy?
I'm trying to copy. What? It's broken. Let me restart. The thing bugged out. Sorry, captains. It happens. So I don't want to waste your time at this point. Let me just go ahead and alt tab and skip the taxi.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon to you too.
This flight to JEJU a great experience.
Yes.
Final boarding for flights like Korea SKL 9814 heading to JEJU. All passengers have been...
Oh, there we are. I hope everybody had anybody that's a father. I hope you had a good Father's Day. I did. Had a great one. Spoiled.
Guns and ground, Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814 with Golf. Ready. Kilo Lima Niner 814. Taxi 2 and hold short of runway 18 via taxiway Alpha. Contact Guns and Tower, Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814 ready for departure. Runway 18, IFR to JEJU.
And we were told 14,000 at the first spawn.
Kilo Lima Niner 814, QNH 1000. Clear for takeoff, runway 18.
QNH 1000. One zero zero zero.
Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814. Acknowledge last transmission.
There you go.
For takeoff, runway 18. Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814. Ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts and secure all baggage underneath your seat or in the overhead compartments. Place your seats and table trays in the upright position. Turn off all personal electronic devices, including laptops and cell phones, and prepare for takeoff.
All right, let's do this. So what a perfect mission. I wanted to go right to JEJU Island, and this one's going right there. I have enough to start a company now, and I'm starting to think about it more and more and more. But it's really expensive. I've been listening to everybody talk about how expensive it is once you create a company. You're going to earn a lot more, but... So I haven't been in a real big hurry to start a company. But I'm starting to get a little bit itchy, so soon. Let's see. Anything else I need to think about? Right, flaps are in the right spot. Auto throttle. Arm it. All right, crush figures. JEJU Island, here we come. Aside from Father's Day, some interesting things going on around the world, boy.
Rotate.
Easy now. You're up.
Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9er 814 contact Incheon Center on 125.5.
All right. Put it into flight level change. Auto throttle's armed. That should keep us under 250. And let's try not VNAV, LNAV.
Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9er 814. Did you copy?
No, I did not copy.
Going to 125.45.
Okay, in the 737, if you take off and you turn on your autopilot and you kick on your LNAV,
Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9er 814 is at 2,600 feet, climbing 14,000 feet.
so what I'm finding is if you're more than like 15 degrees, jeez. Talk.
Incheon Center, QNH 1000. Radar contact, continue.
Okay. And if you're more than 15 degrees off sometimes, where's my heading? That you have to do a heading hold and intercept your GPS. So let me turn the heading that way, do a heading select. Still climbing, still under 250. And then I'll try to engage LNAV when we're closer. I haven't quite figured all the little eccentricities out, but this is one that's pretty common so far. My poor passengers. All right, now let me switch to LNAV and see what happens. I think she's got it. We'll know in a moment when we go to from Porix to Mang 1. $9,000 feet. I think we got it. Glory, hallelujah.
Passing 10,000 feet.
Wow, pretty very populated. Beautiful little mountains there. Okay, I think we got it. Kick back, put your feet up. You're the VIP. Smoking flight. 2 drink minimum. So yeah, after the live stream, folks have been wanting to do some multiplayer flying, and so I'm going to do another live stream just as open free flight time. If anybody did anything exciting, I'd like to hear about it. Did you have a good time this Father's Day? I had better go over our flight plan. So when we hit token, hopefully we hit that at 20 minutes after the hour. The token waypoint. We need to be at 2,900 feet. Then we're going to do a descent down to 1,800 feet on a course setting at 246. Let's go ahead and put that in now. sometimes the course heading on the map, on the plan there, isn't exactly right. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a moment. So let me come over here and set the course heading, 246. I don't know if you have to set both co-pilot and co-pilot, but I watch the other guys, you know, the pros do it, and they do it, so, and then they usually turn the flight director on this side. Okay, what I mean by the course setting that you get here might not be the same as the runway exactly. Okay, so one way to check, and you determine which one you want to use, but so if I come down here now to our approach procedure and I go to the runway, I'm not happy with that rocking noise that we're getting. Then I come down here to runway 25 and I click this and I go to frequencies and no, runways. Okay, which one is it? Sorry. Runway 25. Come here, runway 25. The heading here is 238. It says true is 238, 246 is M, magnetic. All right, so sometimes you'll notice maybe your ILS isn't centering up right. So if we start coming in and it doesn't look like it's right, we might want to change our course setting closer to 238. I hope that makes sense. So 8 degrees, so to just cut it in between, we could add 4 degrees. Take out 4 degrees to 38. Change this to 242. 432. So that's halfway in between them both. 14,000 feet. It's already in altitude hold, but I'll go ahead and click that anyway. Hello, Forza. We are headed to JEJU Island. Oh, I forgot to make sure that Bush Talk radio was on. So we have this one that was nearby. The Gwangju Democratic Uprising of 1980.
The Gwangju Democratic Uprising of 1980 was a pivotal moment in South Korean history. It was a time of great political and social upheaval as the country struggled to move towards a more democratic society. The uprising began on May 18, 1980, when students and citizens in the city of Gwangju took to the streets to protest against the military dictatorship of Chun Doo-hwan. The protests quickly turned violent as the military cracked down on the demonstrators with brutal force. Despite the violence, the citizens of Gwangju continued to resist, and the uprising quickly spread to other cities in Korea. The military responded with even greater force, and the conflict continued for 9 days. In the end, the citizens of Gwangju were able to drive the military out of the city and establish a temporary democracy. Although the democracy was short-lived, it served as a symbol of hope for the people of Korea, and sparked a movement towards greater democracy and freedom. The Gwangju Uprising was a defining moment in Korean history, and the legacy of the uprising continues to inspire new generations of Koreans to fight for their rights and stand up against oppression. It is a testament to the resilience and strength of the Korean people, who have faced many challenges throughout their history and have always emerged stronger in the end. The Gwangju Uprising also had a profound impact on the Korean political landscape, leading to the establishment of a more democratic government and greater civil liberties. Today, Korea is one of the most prosperous and democratic countries in the world, thanks in part to the courage and sacrifice of the citizens of Gwangju.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Today, I'm assisted by co-pilot Jiahong Nam. Welcome aboard flight FKL 9814, inbound.
Right. Crew being no, not at all. Go right ahead. Flight crew today so far in the chat room, we've had Sergeant Lyle. We've got Farmer. He was in. We've got Forza and Bruno. That's the flight crew for today. We're not going to pass by this one, but let's go ahead and play it. Mokpo National University.
Mokpo National University is a public university in Muon and Mokpo, South Korea. The school was founded in 1946 and was named Mokpo Normal School.
That way.
In 1964, it was changed to Mokpo College of Education. In 1978, it was reorganized into Mokpo Elementary School. In 1979, it was upgraded to a 4-year university. In 1990, it was upgraded to Mokpo National University, a comprehensive university. 2021. 2021. 03. 01. Education Innovation Development Center was reorganized into the Education Innovation Office. Department of Liberal Arts, Department of Cultural Contents, and Department of Global Studies were established. 2020. 2020. 10. 21. Establishment of Gwangju Genome.
Somebody didn't format their text right.
Transportation Vehicles Development Project Team. 2020. 09. 25. Administrative reorganization. 3 offices, 1 bureau, 1 division, 1 headquarters, 5 offices, 1 bureau. Established on the Job Training Support Center and Startup Incubation Center. 2020. 08. 10. Opened the Namak Campus Production Startup Center.
So yeah, you can create your own Bush Talk point of interest entries for the entire community to enjoy once they're approved, and it's really easy to do. They do ask, though, that we're cutting and pasting Wikipedia or whatever text you're putting in. That's usually the easiest way people do it, is they just copy and paste Wikipedia. And you should still go in, though, and you need to edit out those little 2010s or format it in such a way in the year 2010, da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, it's relatively easy. Let me go back real quick over here when I'm talking about. So down here in the corner of Bush Talk Radio is a button here, and you can create a point of interest by add POI, right? Submit a new location. Do you know an interesting location or a famous landmark that we may have missed? Share it with the Bush Talk Radio community. And you can import a Wikipedia page, name of the location, category, landforms, bodies of water, nature and wildlife, buildings and man-made structures, history, towns and cities, and other. You can put in the coordinates, a cover photo, recommended assets, and the description. And then submit an audio tour for your location. Tell us something interesting. Oops. Where are points of interest? There it is. It's on. Display labels for all on-screen points of interest. I was hoping it was going to put the pin for the Bush Talk stuff, but it's not doing that. Okay, so going back to you put in your title and then your script. So if it imports it from Wikipedia, it says audio submissions are not editable. Help us keep costs down by always proofreading your script and read the submission guidelines before submitting. So, good rule of thumb is to ask yourself what you found interesting about the point of interest you're about to submit. A lot of Wikipedia articles will be about mundane things which won't necessarily be interesting to a fellow listener. Always proofread your script. Audio tour should be in English. Certain things don't work well in audio format. Submit tangible points of interest rather than regions. Avoid states, counties, countries, etc. If the imported article includes a list, please remove it as it does not work well in audio format. Do not include any unnecessary large numbers or coordinates in the script. It doesn't work well in audio format. Do not include secondary information inside brackets, such as translations, acronyms, or unit conversions, as these tend to break up the flow of the audio. If the information inside brackets is important, then rewrite the sentence without brackets. So then a couple others, guidelines and a couple of examples, right? Don't crater lake in Klamath, GWAS in brackets 1 is a 2,148 foot deep, parenthesis, or whatever this is here, 655 meters. Anyway, and then the do and how to format it. So yeah, that last one that we heard. Man, we're hauling butt.
In Jeollanam-do Province, South Korea. Designated as a national park in 1988, Wulkulsan National Park is South Korea's smallest at only 56.6 square kilometers. The park takes its name from Wulkulsan, or Mount Wulchul in Gangjin and Yeongam counties. The highest peak in the...
Oh no, that one was done right. It was the university one.
Elevation of 809 meters. Also contained in the park are 3 national treasures and a number of local cultural properties. Points of interest include...
Yeah, they did theirs right. It was the university one, where it was giving the dates.
After the disastrous defeat of Joseon Admiral Won Ge-yoon at the Battle of Chilchonryang in ordered his ships to advance and press the attack, ramming and sinking approximately 30 Japanese ships, forcing the rest of the Japanese Navy to retreat. Today, Admiral Yi Sun-shin is considered one of Korea's greatest heroes.
Okay, so up at the top of the screen here, I believe this area out there, or a little beyond the area right at the top, that's the straits. So that's interesting. The tide moved in 3-hour intervals going one way and the other way. And he got to use that to his advantage to mess the Japanese up. Using the weather and nature to your advantage in warfare has always been a big deal. I know I've seen plenty of movies about warfare where it came down to, you know, knowing how the weather was going to change. So, I think that's the first time I've ever heard one that dealt with tidal activity. It's usually like, oh, we know there's going to be a heavy rainstorm, you know, and it's going to cause this kind of activity, and then they're on this kind of ground, and...
Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9er 814. Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect ILS Zulu runway 25 approach via Dukkal transition. Clear to Dukkal.
4,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect ILS Zulu runway 25 approach via Dukkal transition. Clear to Dukkal. Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima 9er 814.
We have a discontinuity. Oh, purple. And then we need to be at 2,900 feet for token. We're under 10,000 feet, and auto throttle has us under 250 knots, so that's good. We even said hello to our co-pilot. Hello.
Passing 10,000 feet.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, she's not turning. She's out of LNAV. Dude. ILS frequency. Ada? ILS frequency is 111.3. So press this to make it standby. 111.300 and switch it back to active. So now it moves back to the top. 11130. We should be okay. So now we're at PC 657 going to Tolmo. So we're doing a big arc. Sorry, one moment. We're only getting 25 FPS. Did I do wrong?
Ladies and gentlemen, now we're approaching JEJU where local time is 6:46 a.m. Please stay in your seat with your seatbelt fastened. Personal screens, footrests, and seat tables must be stowed away and all hand luggage stored either in the overhead lockers or under the seat in front. Please ensure all electronic devices are turned off. Thank you.
EC 652. There she be. All right, I've updated the title. Okay, getting ready to make our turn to Tuthill, and then they should bring us down to around 2,900 feet. Crush fingers. All right, let's adjust the range a little bit. Oh, I can see things good now that we're turning.
Kilo Lima Niner 814. Contact JEJU Tower on 118.55 when inbound.
Contacting the tower.
Tower on 118.55. Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814.
My bad, that was just acknowledging the transfer. Here we go.
JEJU Tower. Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814. Tree 7 miles east. Inbound ILS Zulu runway 25 approach.
Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814 JEJU Tower. QNH 1002 cleared ILS Zulu runway 25 approach.
Just waiting for the word to come down now to 2,900 feet.
Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814. Did you hear my last transmission?
Whoops.
Cleared ILS Zulu runway 25 approach. Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814.
Token. I suddenly want to hear a Boston song. Get down tonight. Oh, come on. We're supposed to be at 4,000 Ducal and token 29. That's an awful short distance to come down. Going over to approach mode. So, if you're just tuning in, it couldn't have been more perfect today. I put up my title for the show saying I'm in South Korea and I wanted to do a Korean job, and in the description I put, hey, I'd like to keep trying to find jobs that will take us south, down through South Korea to JEJU Island. This island right here. My wife is really into Korean programming. And she got me watching a show with her about these two celebrities who run a bed and breakfast on JEJU Island. And fans get chosen to, you know, go hang out there. And surprisingly, it's very interesting. Because it's a resort island, so people are wanting to come here, but I want to come and hang out with you, but also you've got this great hiking, and I'm a hiker, and I want to go do this, or I'm going specifically to see these things, and so you get to move around the island and get to see all the cool things that it has, and yeah. So that was the reason for me wanting to come down here. Maybe I'll actually get Christine to watch one of the live streams. There you go, Chris. All right, how is coming down? I'm gonna do just gonna take control and do a flight level change anyway. See there? Token 2,900. So I'm going to lower the gear. Oh no. Do you see what I've done wrong? This whole flight? Yeah. Whoops. Yikes. You are localizer engaged. Our diamond is almost centered. The magenta diamond. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Approach. The nose is taken, so we are in approach mode. The plane is now communicating with the runway. They kind of are doing like a Bluetooth shaking of hands. And now the airplane is flying the beam down to the runway. And I'm not doing anything. I think I'm supposed to be monitoring speed. And I think we're supposed to be at around like 170. Let's see, does this thing give me an indication what it wants? It's saying up. Up.
Foxtrot Kilo Lima 90814, wind 248 at 15, cleared to land runway 25.
We look like we're pretty good. I'm going to change the course back to 246.
Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima 90814, acknowledge last transmission.
Clear to land runway 25. Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima 90814.
Still seems like we're a bit too far to the left. I'm going to change it for 8. No. Is VNAV supposed to be on? No, just approach, right? Ooh, ooh, ooh. I think I blew it. Doesn't that look like we're not on center to you? Arming the speed brake.
400.
Putting in more flaps.
300.
Yeah, I don't feel centered. I'm gonna disengage the autopilot.
Sync rate Approaching 900. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Light slow. Light slow. Light slow.
Exceeded max feet per second at touchdown. Didn't have to. It deployed the spoiler. I didn't have to put it into reverse thrust.
814, exit runway when able.
Speed brake up. Flaps up.
Kin Foxtrot.
Oh, now they're getting me for speeding.
Did you copy?
It's
JEJU ground. Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814. Taxi to parking.
Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814. Taxi to gate 20 using taxiway Alpha Bravo.
all right. Well, not spectacular, but down. And wasn't going too fast. Again, didn't have to use anything but speed brake. Even though we got that too fast foot per second error.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have not reached the gate yet. Please remain seated until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to JEJU International. Local time is 4:48 p.m. and temperature is 81 degrees Fahrenheit. For your safety, please remain seated until our captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. Check around your seat for any personal belongings and be careful when opening the overhead bins, as heavy articles may have shifted. On behalf of the entire cabin crew, we would like to thank you for choosing Fly Korea. We look forward to seeing you again. We wish you a pleasant stay in JEJU.
We do. So you might want to be careful at the end with the air traffic control transmission, because she was asking me to respond to her taxiing prompt, and I was trying to, and so it tells you to press R, but what it did is it engaged my telling the passengers that we were here, wait, you know, the whole thing we just heard. And it then caused me to time out. She was like, did you know, respond? And I couldn't respond until that stuff was done playing. So I guess what I'm saying you might have to do is hold off hitting R as the response to talk to the passengers and hit 1 on your keyboard in communications. So up here it's going to tell you to press R to do your thing, but up here under communications you can press 1.
Taxiing to gate 20 via the taxi.
And that's what I was supposed to do.
Kin Foxtrot Kilo Lima Niner 814.
So the moment I realized that I had to do a boarding call at the moment she was requesting I respond, I should have opened communications and immediately hit 1 and then hit R. I hope that makes sense. It doesn't see me on the parking stand even though I'm on it. Let me just inch forward a little bit. All right, engine shutdown. I guess I'd give myself a C. And they agree. No, they're giving me a B. So, one of those, I have explained both those mistransmissions. Taxi speeding thing, should have been more careful. And the landing smoothness, well, win some, you lose some. Satisfaction. I'm not sure where we messed up on airline procedures. Maybe skipping the first two. And respect the condition of the aircraft. I totally pointed out why. And that one is low. The flaps. I screwed up. And I kept the flaps in the 5-degree position the entire flight. Whoops. Hopefully they don't ding my reputation. Nah, they didn't, but they're like, nah, we're not going to give you a whole lot either. That's fine by me. All right. So thanks for tuning in this afternoon. It was perfect. I wanted to go to JEJU, and it was perfect. Just click right to it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this live stream and I'm going to start another one for free flying. And I'm going to spawn here at JEJU Island. So, or make myself available to do anything that anybody wants to do. I know that Sergeant Lyle is out there and he might want to do some multiplayer flying. I know that Bruno is out there and he might want to do some multiplayer flying. I don't know if Farmer is going to be available. And if you're interested, anyway, I'm going to start another one at the top of the hour. And I'll be on JEJU. Yep, paperwork. Paperwork.